Great to see you, and thank you for joining us today. We're going to be talking about the evolution of retail tech. My name is Lauren Stevenson, and I'm the Customer Success Director at tech business Fabacus. And it's a pleasure to be hosting this fireside chat with Andrew XENI, the founder and chairman of Nobody's Child, and founder of Fabacus and Soreto, and BROGHAN Smith from TikTok Shop, the retail fashion lead. So, Andrew, kick us off. Tell us about your businesses and how they complement each other.
Thank you. So, hi everyone, good afternoon. Thanks to the Retail Summit for the kind invitation. So, for those of you that know me and most of you that don't, I am the founder of a ladies' wear brand where we pride ourselves on delivering eco-conscious fashion at value called Nobody's Child. I also co-founded 2 technology businesses, primarily focused on solving my own problems in retail, Fabacus and Soreto. Fabacus is around management of data, and we'll elaborate on that a little bit later. Soreto is focused on referral technology.
Thank you. So, BROGHAN, TikTok Shop is still quite a new concept for me. Can I ask the audience, just by a show of hands, how many TikTok users do we have here today? Quite a few. And has anyone bought anything from TikTok Shop before? So over to you. I think we also have a video to show.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, everyone, for coming. It's a pleasure to be here, and great to see some hands in the audience as well of TikTok users and shoppers. I am conscious that TikTok Shop is a fairly new concept, so I'm just going to spend the next 4 minutes or so just talking through what that looks like for a user experience on the platform. Of course, the theme for our chat today is about the future of shopping. Obviously, from the TikTok side of things, we're quite biased about the changes that we're making in the world of the platform to make an e-commerce opportunity. But to kick things off, just going to start with some platform updates. Users in the room are quite strong, but globally also strong. Currently got 1.8 billion monthly active users on the platform, which makes us the #1 app globally for downloads, #1 app for average daily time spent, and much like many of the partners in the room today, a truly global proposition. 150+ markets, 75+ languages, and some of our most recent data is showing us that Gen Z are spending about 90 minutes a day on the platform, which is a hell of a lot of content. It's about a film's worth of content, more traditionally. And all of this is providing a fantastic foundation for changing shopping. The slice of sales that e-commerce is taking in the overall mix is growing rapidly. And as you can see on the slide, it truly is globally growing. E-commerce sales is set to hit 8.1 trillion by 2026. And TikTok is really at the forefront of a lot of this. We are a leading destination for content and entertainment, and I'm sure many of the people in the room today go onto their For You page to engage with that content daily. And what we want to talk about today is how social commerce is enabling that engaging, funny, smart content to provide a fantastic opportunity for sales. You can see on the slide that referral and recommendation is already high when people are engaging with TikTok content, and that ultimately is providing the perfect testing ground for us to bring to life TikTok Shop. What is it, if you haven't come across it already? Well, TikTok Shop is a fully closed-loop ecosystem. That means that entire customer journey happens within the platform. You may have worked with TikTok in the past and driving traffic to ads and converting on your traditional website. But for TikTok Shop, we can complete that entire customer experience and sale within the platform, which for us is becoming a very powerful tool because it's enabling much higher conversion. Ultimately, what we're trying to do with TikTok Shop is disrupt that traditional path to purchase. And we have something called our infinite loop. This is almost like our USP on the platform. Ultimately, it's that algorithm that you're engaging with daily that's causing and bringing exciting content to your For You page. But the key difference for us on Shop is the right-hand side of this slide as you look. This is where creators can come onto the platform and they can bring to life your products in a way that no brand can really replicate. They're driving a whole new level of advocacy, just talking about why they've purchased it, why they've styled it in their unique way, why they've taken it on the next holiday, and kind of everything in between. And that ultimately is driving a very powerful tool for us in driving new sales and new customer acquisition. And as you'll know on TikTok, this process and loop happens over and over and over again and becomes more adapted to you as an individual, as a user, serving you content and now products based off your likes. The really exciting element for us, and we'll kind of get onto this discussion today, is creators. They're really our lifeblood on TikTok, and they show up differently, and the stats kind of back that up, and we can see that perfectly brought to life by some Nobody's Child TikTok content, which we'll kind of get onto in the next couple of minutes. But this is enabling a completely different perspective for brands, and ultimately enabling a different conversation to drive sales, and ultimately engage a customer in a completely different way through exciting short video format. We take that customer for a really seamless checkout experience that happens throughout the app, and something that we've kind of refined and worked on really hard to be seamless, non-invasive, and if you've kind of ever bought anything on your smart device, something that comes really second nature to you, Apple Pay, saved card, Klarna, whatever it might be. But ultimately, the opportunity, quite simply, looks like this, where we can align a strategy that enables TikTok creators and your existing brand talent to drive incremental sales on the platform and talk to a new audience now with shoppable opportunities. So that was a very whistle-stop tour on TikTok Shop. Thank you, Lauren. I'll kind of throw it back to you to engage in the conversation.
Thanks, Brogan. That's so interesting. So has that been quite an education for brands to take them on that journey?
I think so. I think TikTok as a platform, from a brand perspective, really became a driving force around 2020 onwards in COVID, and that was when most brands took their first steps in there. And what we always try and encourage on the platform is brands to be themselves and create content in a completely different way on our platform. Anything that's kind of been repurposed from a big shoe, other platforms, tends not to work. We want that brand to give a completely different insight to their product, consumer, behind the scenes, and TikTok's the perfect content format for that, because it's short, engaging, but can deliver a key message, which of course Nobody's Child have lived and breathed with some of their digital product passports already. So yeah, very exciting.
It's clear that social commerce is here and changing and shaking up the landscape. Andrew, what do you think from a perspective of a brand owner about this proposition?
I was lucky enough to meet Brogan a while back, and of course I fell victim to that pitch deck. It does what it says on the tin, incredible reach, helps brands amplify their message for us, whereby our DNA is really focused on talking about our eco-credentials and some of the conscious efforts the teams are making on sourcing and the way that we're producing and going to market. TikTok gives us a platform to tell that story incredibly clearly in the right tone of voice, on brand, and speaking to the right audience, a younger audience that is more in tune with their buying decisions, and therefore for us, amidst all of the consumerism and stuff that the world continues to focus on, we get an opportunity to benefit from that reach but stay true to our brand DNA.
And what impact are you seeing that it's having on the overall landscape?
I think it's here to stay, as you rightly said. Everybody now is looking for new ways to engage their customers, new channels. Customer acquisition, of course, is a focus. Ownership, retention, the cost of that acquisition continues to grow. And I think platforms like TikTok that allow us to tap into an audience in the right way, with the right engagement, using the right tools, is a very powerful product. And I think it's one of probably, Brogan will probably argue, in the top one or two. But for sure, there's 4 or 5 platforms today that are allowing our brand to tell the story.
And are you seeing this growth across categories and segments?
Definitely. I think beauty has always been a category that's really excelled on TikTok, and mainly TikTok Shop. It lends itself really nicely to the format. But fashion is our fastest growing category. But as you can see by the short video at the start, we have a solution for kind of every category now. And ultimately, we want to be that destination from a TikTok Shop perspective, where you can find any product that's brought to life by the content that is exciting and engaging with you. So yeah, fashion and beauty are the more natural ones, but we're seeing growth in some fantastic other categories as well.
And with this change, we're obviously seeing a shift in regulation that's following. And yet we're seeing sustained consumerism globally, but then also demand for traceability, more regulation around sustainability and ethical production and brands. Andrew, what's your take on that from an NC, Nobody's Child perspective? And how is tech helping you? And I know that we've also got some slides, I think, of a digital product passport.
Yeah, I'm going to present our digital product passport. I'm particularly proud about it because it was two of our companies collaborating. It was a lot of effort on both sides. It was an extensive piece of work, and to build an infrastructure and a platform for scaling that across all of our products is the ambition, and we're trying to achieve that in the next 12 months for sure. The team have delivered and executed something that for us enables us as a brand to tell our story, be true to our DNA around being honest and open about everything associated to that product, but it's also unlocking a real platform for us to talk to our customers directly, whereby they can engage with the products in their possession. And of course, I can say this transparently, and BROGHAN won't be offended, leveraging platforms like TikTok are incredible for reach, but as a brand, we still want to own that customer. So it's another way of keeping that contact directly with our end user.
And so you're using the traceability developments and legislation as more of an opportunity?
Absolutely. I mean, the framework's come in. It's starting, it's really being led by the EU, but the rest of the world are following. Similar to when GDPR was established, the rest of the world followed suit. Everybody gives it their own name, but essentially the same framework. And we're already seeing through the regulation a load of compliance for traceability, visibility, ultimately for sustainability. And so with all of that in mind, we wanted to be at the forefront of that. And so Fabacus, thankfully, we developed a platform to enable that at scale when Nobody's Child carried the torch through execution. So I've got something I'd love to show as well.
Can we see it?
Of course, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be talking to everyone for the next minute or so forgive me as I talk you through a digital product passport. It was a collaboration of the two businesses, so Nobody's Child and Fabacus. It was our collection with Fern Cotton, who is one of our leading ambassadors for the Nobody's Child brand in the UK. We put unique passports in every single product. Every product had a unique code, and it directs them to the passport that I will walk and talk you guys through. Essentially, the digital product passport is an output. It stems from having your house in order, having everything you need in one place. This passport has 150 data points across 15 or 20 sources. We link it to the Sustainable Development Goals. Immediately when you scan it, it's an immediate connection, the description, composition of the product, some traceability. We pushed the envelope as a brand. We went to tier 5 in the public domain. We talk about each of those stakeholders, and each of those stakeholders contribute to making sure that the data and the integrity of the data is in one place. We included trims on our latest iteration, so our third version of our passport went live last week, so we're proud of that. We worked out our carbon footprint for each product. We did that in collaboration with Worldly, who own HIG, that are best in class today. We worked out our water and energy consumption for the products as well. We talk about the packaging and the sustainable credentials of that packaging and recyclability. We literally look at this as a platform for communication, so washing instructions, anything that can help a consumer extend the life cycle of the product, certification, integrity of the product, using the third parties to validate that, and of course some of the science linking to the global standards, all the different data points and identifiers needed, and again another globally unique proposition around allowing a third party to authenticate that and any circularity initiatives. Of course, compliance doesn't need to be hard work and expensive. We can make it fun and actually deliver an ROI. We created a consumer engagement element to our passport to allow the consumer to engage more broadly and widely with the brand, and irrespective of the channel they're buying our products, when they engage with the product, they can register to unlock some of the benefits, rewards, and experiences, and in turn, of course, we acquire that customer in the first-party data. So it's an incredible opportunity for our brand to get a reward on the back of all that hard work and effort, not only aligning with the regulations and the compliance, but actually, more importantly, being able to satisfy our customers and that demand that's coming from the consumer. Once they get their reward, of course, we can send them anywhere in our ecosystem, and we can unlock a whole load more opportunities. At Fabacus, we've been lucky enough to work with some of the world's largest businesses to demonstrate the power of this tool. And I can invite you all, if your phones will reach the screens, you're more than welcome to to get that same experience. And just to be absolutely clear for the forum, this is exactly the experience you would get if you purchase one of our products today and scan them. So this isn't just a demo for the purpose of the summit. This is live and it's in the market today. So it's real, it's deliverable, and we're all going to need to conform, and we want to be at the forefront of it, both as a brand and as a technology partner.
And so each product unit has a unique QR code in it.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a unique URL linked to that product. There is some science to it. I'm not going to blind the audience with the way that we do that, but essentially it's directing the consumer to a unique product page specifically for that product. And when the customer engages, you start to get a richer customer profile, and it starts to unlock a world of possibilities.
And there is a lot of data in there. Is it a lot of work? What's the impact for brands and retailers?
I mean, it is a lot of work, of course. There's multiple systems. You know, this is new. It's coming, and we're going to have to conform. No existing systems can cater for these requirements. Our existing systems that we're all familiar with are used to doing their jobs, not catering for this need. So that's the role that we want to play. So essentially, we create a robust digital catalog of all of the products and any product attributes from any systems, any stakeholders, any third parties in one place with integrity. And that enables the scalability and execution of digital product passports. It's a lot of work. My team will argue it's a lot of work, of course, but we've built an infrastructure. You know, the words that we like to use is we've done all the plumbing. So now with all of the data in the right place and mapped in, we can now scale this and continue to grow this initiative.
And what impacts is this going to have on the supply base?
I mean, we're very lucky, even as a technology business in our infancy, we're working with some of the world's largest businesses today and partners, so we're quite proud of that. I think it's quite clear that it depends what the businesses want to try and achieve from it, really. If you want to conform, then you're going to need to adhere to this.
And do you see a rationalization in terms of suppliers being able to provide that information over time?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some of the biggest retailers in the last 18 months literally half their supply base. I think most of the product comes from, as we all know, you know, you've got your top 5 suppliers and then a tail end of suppliers. Anybody that doesn't conform in the supply base will slowly start to become, unfortunately, unable to continue working with the businesses that have to meet the incoming regulations.
So both sides have spoken about bringing the consumer into the retail process as well as connecting the dots through technology. You know, is the industry ready for these types of changes?
I think so. I think they have to be. I think because our consumer is already living and breathing it. And I think from a TikTok perspective, we want to be the platform that enables brands to communicate that to their audience and a new one. And yeah, and all the things that live within the ecosystem will soon become second nature to us because that's where the consumer is heading and the requirement is already there from them.
Yeah, I think TikTok tees up the brand to tell that story in an incredible way. You know, I don't think we can do as good a job as authentically, even on our own channels and our own website. Engaging the consumers in a way that makes this a much clearer message about the brand DNA, speaking to the right audience that actually care the most today and are going to drive consumer behavior in the coming years is an incredible opportunity. It's probably what excites our team the most about working on TikTok is being able to tell that story and, of course, highlight all of the hard work that's gone into delivering a passport.
And on that point, how are you ensuring consumer confidence? We've all seen, you know, bad actors on marketplaces. How are you ensuring that customers have trust in buying from the platform?
I think it all starts with really authentic content. Like we are a content-first platform, so the brands, the partners, the consumer ultimately has to engage with content that's true to them, and we really encourage that through all of our best practice and messaging. But also, I think it's the brands that you can see on the platform. The video kind of briefly showed a small insight. We're building that portfolio and that repertoire, and you can buy all those brands that you traditionally pick up on your high street or you know, wherever, and ultimately becoming that destination to purchase the best, newest, freshest product from every category. And it's great to keep building that and more exciting brands to come to our mix in the next couple of months.
And you're really helping the brands on their journey, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. We kind of want to understand their key messaging, the content, I guess their strategy, and ultimately find a way to communicate that effectively through TikTok content and obviously unlock that sales opportunity at the other end as well.
And then in the last few minutes, have you got any final insight for the audience here, for those perhaps navigating some of the challenges within the retail landscape based on some of these technologies that are available?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously going to bang the drum for the things that I believe in and that I stand by and we've executed successfully. I mean, the engagement through the passports have been incredible. The halo effect in the public domain, the consumers have loved it. The feedback we've got has been incredible. So embracing the compliance doesn't need to be penalizing. It can be a really exciting evolution of a brand trying to tell their story. And the carrier, the QR code is merely a carrier. It's the jazz hands for the brand. You know, all the heavy lifting and all the hard work precedes that execution. And being able to put everything that you want in the way that you want and curate it for your audience, for your customer, is an incredible opportunity. We don't get to do that in any other format in our current product. So I think things like digital IDs, digital product passports, there's different names for the same thing, but essentially that opportunity for a customer to engage with the product in their possession is such a powerful tool. And of course, platforms that allow us to amplify our message is another great way.
And this region has a young population, as you know. TikTok Shop, is that the plan? Is that a focus for this region in the coming months or years?
So we're currently live in the UK and the US, and yeah, we're looking at new markets all the time. In terms of kind of the shop elements, I think TBC, but we're really excited to just take our learnings from the core markets, UK and US, and transfer them here. And everyone is different, of course, but the brands, the messages that kind of live within each of them is a really exciting story to tell in each one. So I'm sure exciting things to come.
Yeah, well, we look forward to it. Well, it's clear that digital tools are the gateway to a more consumer-centric, transparent, and collaborative environment. And we hope that today has sparked some ideas and insights into what is possible through technology and through new social commerce and platforms like TikTok Shop. So the guys will be available over the course of the next few days, 2 days. So thank you to Gary and the team, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.